I am a French writer. May I speak to you? I am not a handsome man. Not by standard definitions. Poetic, aesthetic, or scientific in nature. I am too feminine, too asymmetrical, too wrong, I suppose. In cafes such as this, I do not sit across from mirrors or at windows because no one should have to see me from the street, and I cannot bear another me at the head of my table. And I tell you these things not to elicit sympathy, but I wish to convey my intention. And I feel that this honest admission adds a good deal of weight to it. I want to say, I would like to sit across from you and see myself reflected in your eyes. And I think we should take a table near the window so that the world can see my joy.
Well, I'm afraid you have me at a loss.
I am sorry.
I believe at this point I know everything about you but your name.
Andre.
I am Elisa. Sit, Andre. You look troubled. I would tell you to unburden yourself, but... well, you obviously do not need to be told to do that.
I have been characterized as bold.
I believe you do yourself a disservice.
I do not refer to myself as bold. Others do.
I was referring to your insistence that you are not handsome. At the right angle in a certain light, you could be quite the heartbreaker. That smile! Yes, that settles it then. Quite the heartbreaker.
You do me a great honor.
I hope not. I find completely honorable men to be quite boring. It is fine to have an honorable streak, but one must also have a tinge of the odorous, the obnoxious, and the insufferable in order to be truly interesting. Have you those attributes as well?
I have been accused of being all three.
I've also been known to be drawn to those with a hint of tragedy about them.
I am well acquainted with loss.
I find those that aren't to be terribly boring as well.
That seems rather glib and callous.
It is. But in the way permitted only to those who have suffered terrible losses.
I have suffered a traumatic divorce and lost the care of my children.
I lost my husband to the sea and my only daughter to despair.
You win, I suppose.
And what a prize I claim.
Have I overstayed my welcome?
Quite the contrary. You have made a dull evening into something quite delicious. Do stay and drink with me.
Did you purchase that entire bottle for yourself?
I purchased it with the intent to share it. Sometimes an interesting person joins me and we drink for a while. Sometimes the conversation is clever, sometimes dull. Sometimes we end up back in my room, most times not. Does that shock you?
Does what?
My frankness.
No. I am too preoccupied with calculating my odds.
You're doing quite well for a man who does not consider himself to be particularly attractive.
I make do with the tools afforded to me.
Which, in order of their brandishing, are boldness, wit, and vulnerability. Boldness is your angle, wit is the light.
And vulnerability?
A beautiful flaw, a crooked nose, a tooth askew, it gives you character.
You view vulnerability as a flaw.
No,
You do not?
no. But the world does. And as often as possible, I try to be not of this world.
I feel that you could make me a better artist.
I have no interest in that.
None?
I am only concerned with making me a better artist.
I see.
I am no one's muse.
No, I do not want you to be my muse. I do not want you to inspire me. I want you to challenge me.
That deserves another drink, then.
Thank you. I was beginning to lose my nerve there.
You're doing fine.
What happened to your daughter?
Let us not speak of the suicide of things.
You think of your daughter as a thing?
Of course not. I meant things, not in the sense of objects, but things in their existential totality. As in, things are not well.
I am sorry.
No reason to be sorry. It is an important topic of conversation. The will of the world to drown, but not here. Not now. It is a conversation best saved for late nights. Soft linens. Bodies propped up on elbows. The melancholy and sleepless hours between drunk and hungover.
Will we have such a conversation?
I hope we will have many conversations.
What type of conversation should we have now?
You could ask me about my art. I told you I was an artist, but you did not ask me what I make.
To be fair, you did not ask me about mine.
You introduced yourself as a French writer, that is all I needed to know.
There are many different types of French writers.
There is only one, Rimbaud, repeating himself backwards and forwards in time, self-obsessed and destructive, the bruised and wilted romantic.
We have political writers. I am one myself. On occasion.
At what point in history has French politics not been driven by wine or a broken heart?
I cannot argue against that. So, I will simply ask, what kind of artist are you?
I am a poet, and I build boxes and fill them with scraps. Cloth and bone, wire and paint.
To what end?
Does there have to be a point?
To art? Certainly not. But I suspect there is with yours.
I suppose... I just want to hold on to a moment. To make of fragments barricades against grinding despair. A resistance to the crawl of time. Little boxes to contain a world.
And your poetry?
I write, and then I tear the writing to pieces, toss the words in a hat, and draw a new poem from it line by line.
Oh, I do as well.
I knew it. You look the type. Boxes have their place, order and structure and all that, but one must have a little chaos in her life, or run the risk of going mad. And not in a good way.
I have my hat.
And I have the beginnings of a poem. As my guest, you should draw first.
Your bones.
Upon the sea.
The air of beating wings.
The woman with the sun in her belly.
The way that I greet you.
Seeking refuge from the prison of the sky.
dreams without sleep.
Naked as the day we met.
Who all knew? May we retire to your room?
In a bit. Let us move to a window first and finish the bottle. I would very much like the world to see us.